I'm talking a lot today. Make sure everything is okay again. Perfect. I don't know if you guys get notified. This might be annoying, but me constantly going online and offline like that. Alright, it should be fine. Alright, hey guys, Invictus here. Following up that last VOD review, I've got a bit more time, so I'm going to review my own Hanzo gameplay here. And again, I want to kind of stress upon the idea of win conditions and positioning rather than raw skill and aim with Hanzo. And like right off the bat, you guys will see it. I'm not a very good Hanzo per se. Like I'm not, you know, Roxu sniping heads, clicking heads from a million miles away. But I try to use my game sense and my positioning, kind of maximize my effectiveness with the character. You guys will see I'm on my West Coast account right here, XSCV, and I don't usually play DPS on this account unless it's like Genji Tracer and you can't anymore. But I've been trying to jump into Hanzo because again, it's less about my aim and more about my game sense and positioning. So even at 100 ping, I think I do well enough with him. Thanks to that. Alright, so I'm just gonna go over, you know, a couple of my, you know, my thought process throughout the game and what I was looking for and how it's gonna play about. Okay. Oop. Get the screen. Alright, so we're running a pretty standard comp here. It's a meta comp. Brig, Ryan, Zarya, Zenyatta, Mercy, and Hanzo. Okay. And I believe they're running a mirror comp, unless I'm horribly mistaken, okay? So right off the bat here, I try to just do a little damage to the tanks. Remember in my King's Row video, I was talking about being in a position with Hanzo to put pressure on the enemy tanks, but also end up behind the supports and try to do some damage. So first off here, I actually try to just work on this Ryan shield, make sure his shield goes down before ours, and that they're forced to back up. And now that I've made sure that they're looking the other way, so they're looking at the point, I take the opportunity to come around through this angle and into their backline. So this is what I was talking about aggro before and trying to work off of that. So right now they're all looking at the payload, right? Naturally, the payload's coming in through there. All their supports are looking that way. Tanks are looking that way. DPS is looking that way. So it gives me an opportunity to come up behind them, and while my team is soaking up all that aggro, I'm going to come up behind them and do some damage and hopefully get a pick or two. Again, if I was a better Hanzo here, I probably would have sniped at least 2 before they realized what was going on. But I'm not, so what I'm trying to focus on is doing as much damage as I can so that their healers are, you know, under duress trying to heal the entire team and they have to back off, okay? So now the Zenyatta is probably the smartest one out of all of them. I tried to do a little damage. That was a little NA Storm Arrow. I was just trying to get away from the Hanzo. From the previous round, I actually didn't have the entire game saved. But I knew that he was a mechanically better Hanzo than me. He was clicking heads a lot more, but he wasn't as smart. He wasn't as high IQ as me. But I'm trying to avoid dealing with him as often as I can. All right. Like again, see there, I get absolutely decked because he's looking for me. He knows he can kill me. So I'm right now not trying to push him at all. He has the advantage. He likely has the ping advantage. He has the Hanzo advantage. I believe he's a Hanzo main. So I'm trying not to play him in this case. Play against him. This dragon I actually send out here to try and scatter them. I wanted them to go off to the right side and to the left side. Unfortunately, my Zenyatta is really out of position all the way back there when he should be somewhere around here. So by me splitting them, I actually help the Hanzo secure that kill because he's like, whatever, I'm gonna jump into it, and so the Hanzo ends up behind us, and it does a good job of scattering these guys down here, but it didn't achieve the intended effect that I wanted. Okay, so now their Zenyatta, their Hanzo are really low. I get the pick on the Zen. Hanzo's still alive. He's like the biggest threat right now. So again, I'm still playing this wall here because I don't want to really contest him. But I still want to do damage to their tanks and to their backline, so I'm trying to avoid him as often as I can.
Alright, it's actually low, like super low. I have grabs.
I figured the Mercy would res him, but I'm not hitting that shot in a million years.
Big slam.
So unfortunately, I don't actually hit him. And this is my mistake. I threw that the dragon earlier because I figured that I probably get dragon twice before my Zarya gets hers, but I make a mistake personally in not seeing how charged my Zarya was. I didn't ask him if he's getting his grab anytime soon, so he has to, and he sort of makes a mistake by not holding on to it and giving me a little opportunity to do it. In either case, we try to make plays. Sometimes they don't work out. The Zarya tried to make a play here. He saw a fat grab. Unfortunately, the Hanzo kills our Brig. A Brig kills the Rhine, and it kind of falls apart from there. And even though it's a fat grab, and he forces trance out of this, if I remember correctly. Oh no, it's just a dragon. Never mind. He tried to make a play. It just didn't work out. Okay. And right here, I try to make a play. So I kill the Zarya and the Hanzo, and I'm thinking that I could, like, I get my dragon immediately. Again, so I made a mistake. Zarya made a mistake. It's fine. So this shit happens in these kinds of games. And here, I try to make a play here because I realize it's 1-2 on cart. If I can get both of them, that's it. I cap the point. They have nothing else with them. It's just a Zenyatta and a Reinhardt. Unfortunately, it was a little hit and miss here. I actually get the Zenyatta and the Mercy, so now they're down supports. So now I believe it's only their Brigitte and their Rhine. But unfortunately here, I'm not really sure why this happens, but I get shattered while sitting on top of the cart. I think it's because there's some delayed effects to it. So even though my team calls it winnable, it's kind of hard when they both have shields and I'm unable to get behind them. So they can kind of stabilize. All they have to do really is hold up their shields. I went for the play there. It didn't work out. Whatever. All we have to do now is again focus on the win conditions that we need. We need the grab. We need the dragon. We tried it once. We didn't mesh too well. It was our fault. We didn't communicate to each other. That's the importance of communication, and we're not focusing on the win conditions we need to win. All right. So all we had to do there was hold our grab, hold the dragon. We probably would have won that fight, easy. Okay. So now it's going to shit. Our Zenyatta's trying to test the Hanzo a little bit. I like the aggressive Zenyatta play. I'm just trying to back out in this case because I know the fight's lost. I'm trying to get some heals. I'm trying to back out here. Unfortunately, I believe I get clipped trying to leave. Yeah, I probably should have backed up all the way there. I just didn't know the Hanzo was going to be that aggressive on me. So that's another mistake on my part. I probably should have reset completely and regroup with my team. Again, I'm actually looking at the Zarya's ult. That's what we need. I'm trying to get the armor from the Brigitte. So you see how it's a little more organized at this level where we want to regroup and focus on the push again. And even if you're in a situation like me where you guys were close, don't tilt. Try to focus on what you need to do to win and how you're going to bring it back. I was a little upset. You know, how could we lose that? There were literally just 2 people there, but I was like, all we have to do is grab dragon, grab dragon, grab dragon. We'll win the game. So here, this is the thing I was talking about. The Zarya literally just says the Hanzo. He notices the Hanzo's dragon, and Hanzo is not actually damage boosted, so they can live through this grab dragon combo. And this is the one thing I was talking about in my in the King's Row VOD I just did about the Mercy needing to damage boost the Hanzo to go through that. So they're not focused on they make the same mistake. They're not focused on what the win condition is, all right, and how you guys are gonna play around how they're gonna play around the trance. Again, it's by damage boosting the Hanzo. So we're able to capitalize on their mistake. So that's all they needed really to win right there. Was keep doing that. But again, it comes down to which Hanzo's getting the ult faster, and which Zarya is getting her grab faster. And that's just down to individual skill. I was a little late with this dragon. It still ends up killing them, or rather killing the Mercy. Here, let's just back it up for a second. Because I actually didn't know. I didn't get the audio, or did I not notice the audio cue? Let me see. I don't remember this. Did you see that fire will was really low for me, and the effects of the grab aren't really clear to me here. There was a lot going on, and by the time I realized it, I was like, oh shit. I gotta get this dragon off. And all like our mercy jumps in to give me damage boost at the last second, which I believe helps. In any case, even if they were still in it and they weren't dead, they probably would have died anyway. And so that's what I was talking about before about needing the win condition. First part we focused on positioning, and the second I focused on what our win condition was, because now they were trickling in, we were trickling in. What do we need to push past that point? And it was just that combo, and the importance of this combo in this particular meta. Okay, that is a mistake on me. You guys can slow it down as much as you want. We don't have slow-mo here. I would slow it down, but I shouldn't have been. I knew the Hanzo was better than me at that, so I probably should have not tested him, even if I thought I could probably get the shot off. Okay. So let me bring up the map here. This is Route 66. You have the top-down view, fantastic. And I realize you guys probably can't even see this because of the cam here, but luckily we're operating down here right now. Okay. So now we're at second point. This is how it's usually going to work out, right? They're usually going to push up the cart to around here, and this is where your Reinhardt's going to hold. This is where their Reinhardt's going to hold. Alright, not on the bridge. Underneath the bridge. Okay? So let's just make that a little clearer, just in case. Right there. So this is generally how it works out, right? And for me, and when I'm trying to stress the positioning aspect of this, I'm looking for an angle where I can actually hit their Reinhardt shield, so I can hit. You know, we talked about the duality of Hanzo now, about hitting the tanks, but also trying to access their support. So the one way you guys can do it is operate through this high ground here, and hit him this way. But the problem with that is that it's a little too isolated from your team here. So your team's all the way over here, your heals are over here, and you're going to force your Mercy to come up here. It's a good idea if you want to get aggressive and your team is winning the tank war. You guys can actually push up here and you'll take the high ground. Another option is to take the high ground up here onto this little up on the roof, because Hanzo can access that roof, and you can do damage down this way, right? But again, the problem with that is that it's really isolated, and especially since there's that signboard, so your Mercy can't actually access you unless you're like wall jumping, and she times it perfectly. So your heals aren't there. So if you get caught out here, you're dead pretty much. So it's a very high risk, high reward position right there. So what I opt to go for is erase all this shit. So what I opt to go for is the inner route here. The inner route allows me to access their supports, who are all the way down over here behind the Reinhardt shield. But if I'm in trouble, I can also come outside back here to my team, where they can heal me, and I can do damage to the tanks to push them back beyond this corner. And again, if let's say we move up a little more, let's delete all this. Let's say we push up all the way around here. What is up with this brush? That's a big ass Reinhardt shield. There. So let's say we push up around here, and now they're holding back here, and they're falling back, right? So they're panicked, they're disorganized, they're all the way back here. Taking this not indoor route rather, I can actually push up through here, and again, because there's a door right there, remember? I can actually hit their supports this way, or I can back out again through this way and hit the tanks if I need to right here. So I'm using this this indoor area. I'm trying to control this space as much as I can, so that I can access both their tanks and their supports. So let's go back to the gameplay and see what happens. They're actually holding top here. I actually forget about that. But in general, that's how usually people are going to play it, and that's how you can take advantage of it. They'll end up there eventually. Right there. And luckily their Reinhardt's getting absolutely dicked. And if I could slow this down, I would. I eventually get the kill on the Mercy there. You're not always going to hit every shot with Hanzo. Sometimes you're going to look like a dweeb, sometimes you're going to look like a king. So my Reinhardt gets a fat shatter here, but even if he didn't, I just want to like point this out. This is what I was talking about. So the tanks are over here, and their supports are over here. Again, I'm focusing on the fact that my tanks are taking up all the aggro here, and they're doing such a great job creating the space for me so that and allowing me the opportunity to come out behind these guys. And even if they weren't here, I'd probably use a storm arrow and probably do a lot of damage or kill them outright. Luckily, I get the mercy here. That Hanzo gets shattered, and again, I use the storm arrow to confirm the kill on the Zenyatta. And you see, none of the things I did here, although it looks fancy, and I get the fat triple kill right here. See that in fast motion. Oh my God, he's so good. Oh, is that Roxu? No. You can hear how delayed that little dink is because of the ping. Nothing I did there required any like a ping. I was not trying to play the Hanzo. I was literally trying to play the positioning and try and capitalize on that and get a pick using Hanzo's absurd toolkit now, okay? So now I'm thinking all that we need to do. Zarya has Grav here. He's just not doing it right now because we still have to push the cart a little ways further, so he can wait until the like absolute last fight to do it. We're gonna win that clean. Mercy's still damage boosting me here. I know that the Mercy probably gonna res that. Actually, I know it looks like a lucky shot, but I knew he's probably gonna be resing that the Brigitte. It was not lucky as in like I just throwing random arrows. I was trying to hit something, and I knew he was gonna be resing it because he died right there. But luckily, it was a headshot. It was clean. And now they're struggling to get out, and I'm using this high ground to just do damage. I didn't even need this. The game was already won at this point, but throw it in there just for the extra BM, okay? So we say GG's because we're nice people. And yeah, so that final part was just me using the high ground there to kind of force them in there. The tanks did a great job of bottlenecking them, so they had to use their ults. They had to rush out just to touch cart. Instead of us, we were focusing on our positioning more than anything else. Okay, so in that gameplay, I just wanted to do a little short-ish review about positioning and win conditions, Grav Dragon, to maximize your ability, even if you don't have the raw skill. I know you guys are talking about that a lot. Like I said, I'm not a guy of pure raw skill. I try to use my game sense more than anything. I believe that's brought me far enough. So yeah, I hope that was helpful for you guys, especially if you're trying to play Hanzo, Duba, Hydra, anybody trying to pick it up. I thought hopefully it was helpful. And yeah, I'll see you guys